Ever wondered how private equity funds achieve consistently 20% annual returns and oftentimes 3x the money they invested? What strategies do these funds use to create so much value? Now, in this episode, we delve into the art of value creation, revealing 8 powerful strategies used by private equity funds to create value after they acquire your business. I'm Alexej, an investor and entrepreneur, and before starting my own holding company with several businesses we launched and one we acquired, I worked at a $3 billion private equity fund where I oversaw everything from origination to value creation to exit. So I'm super excited to share the 8 ways we created value back at the private equity fund, but also today in my current holding company when we acquire a business. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. If you're excited to dive into the first thing a private equity fund does to your business when they buy your business, go ahead and press that like button for the YouTube algorithm. So to start with the first strategy out of the 8 value creation strategies, streamlining and hiring better leaders. In private equity, transformative success often begins with streamlining, a strategy that focuses on getting rid of B and C players, making the organization lean while also increasing the quality of the team and the output of the team. Integral to this approach is the strategic appointment of experienced C-level executives whose expertise and fresh perspectives are vital for navigating the company's new direction. These leaders are typically incentivized with an equity kicker, aligning their long-term goals with the company's prosperity. In this strategy, middle management is often eliminated. That creates a flatter hierarchy, more transparency, and faster decision-making. A good example is Carlyle's acquisition of Acehieve, showcasing this strategy in action. So by honing in on product line profitability and implementing leadership changes, including a new CEO and CFO, Carlyle enhanced operational efficiency and direction. This recalibration spurred significant cash flow improvements, leading to a lucrative 50% stake sale to Vestor Capital Partners for $1.4 billion and a 10x return in 3 years. Acehieve's 2010 IPO validated that strategy's effectiveness, making it a pinnacle of value creation through operation and leadership changes. Now, our second strategy is the buy and build strategy, a hugely effective and modern approach. In the 1980s, over half of private equity's value creation came from deal structuring. Fast forward to 2012 and today, we saw a dramatic change with approximately 88% of value being driven by operational improvements and multiples expansion. One big lever of success for the operational improvements and multiples expansions is the buy and build strategy, where you grow the operations not organically, but inorganically via acquisitions and M&A. It often starts with the PE fund acquiring a so-called platform company. That means a sizable business which would benefit making smaller acquisitions to add to their features offering, for example, in software, or adding more physical locations if it's a dentist roll-up play, for example. In both cases, the multiples paid for the small bolt-on acquisitions are much lower than what the platform organization is trading at. Once you add the profit and revenue to the platform company, that revenue and profit can be multiplied using the multiplier of the bigger company rather than the small companies you acquired. And voila, you already created value. The operational growth levers come from various cost and revenue synergies after that. So this strategy is a game changer. It unlocks growth by expanding capabilities, improving efficiency, and tapping into new markets. Ultimately, it leads to a larger, more competitive business that stands out in the industry, commanding a higher valuation and setting the stage for a successful future exit. A great example is a Boston-based PE fund called BV Investment Partners, which owns Veracross, a leading provider of cloud-based school information systems for independent schools. A big chunk of their growth comes from acquisitions in the US, Australia, and most recently in the UK. If you want to learn more about that type of value creation strategy, I interviewed on our SaaS Minds podcast, link below, Simon Hay, the founder of Firefly, the UK EdTech SaaS business, which was acquired by Veracross. What is interesting is that Firefly did 2 bolt-on acquisitions on their own before they exited to Veracross. So what might seem to be a platform acquisition for one might be another bolt-on acquisition for somebody else. You're never too small or too big for that strategy. Now, if you learned something from that video already, and if you're still watching this, chances you are still here, which is amazing. Please leave a yes in the comments below. Now, the next value creation strategy is leveraging digital transformation for a competitive advantage. A lot of the times, private equity funds acquire legacy businesses with outdated IT systems or even the lack thereof. Private equity funds usually bring in digital transformation and growth agencies such as NUOPTIMA to help figure out how to implement digital marketing and how to execute on the strategies to increase that side of the business. Equally, there are lots of processes and automations on the cost and operations side of things, which can be improved, unlocking a lot of efficiency and also often a lot of cash. A great example here is NUOPTIMA working with several companies owned by private equity or where growth equity funds own a big chunk of the business. Most recently, we've been helping Carlyle, which invested in Shopware, to get Shopware's organic ranking up. Carlyle, one of the largest PE funds out there, they invested $100 million into Shopware, one of the leading content management systems for larger merchants. We've been getting them to rank much higher than they were, and the goal is for them to rank number 1 in Google for the top search terms of their ideal customer profile. Now, the next value creation strategy is product diversification and market expansion. Expanding product offerings and breaking into the new markets are key strategies for private equity to foster growth and widen the market share. This method zeroes in on developing new products or services that align with the existing portfolio and exploring geographical expansions to capture the new customer segment. It can often be done via the buy and build strategy discussed previously, but oftentimes it's also just by allocating more budget, which has not been there before, to go after a certain market segment or invest more into R&D and launch more products. An example is the collaboration between Cinven and Phadia, a major in vitro allergy and autoimmunity diagnostics provider. After its 2017 acquisition showcases the impact of this approach. Cinven guided Phadia in launching 2 advanced diagnostic instruments, broadening its product range and marketing its entry into pivotal Asian markets. These strategic steps, coupled with their revamped marketing approach and expanded sales force, elevated Phadia's EBITDA from 96 million to 146 million. This groundwork facilitated Phadia's acquisition by Thermo Fisher in 2011 for 2.47 billion, securing a 3.4x investor return and a 1 billion gain. The next value creation strategy is optimizing cash flow conversion cycles. Optimizing the cash flow conversion cycle is essential for improving a company's financial stability and operational efficiency. This involves renegotiating payment terms with suppliers and payment terms with your clients. So both payables and receivables change in favor of having more and faster cash flow as an organization. Having more cash flow available means one can spend more money faster for growth, or one can pay more debt down, or both of these points. Selling off non-core assets to free up more cash is also a common tactic. Coupled with this is the prioritization of recurring over project-based revenue. Trying to change revenue streams from transactional and one-off to more recurring allows the business to have much more and better revenue predictability and much better cash flow visibility. This strategy not only secures financial health, but also boosts the company's valuation and appeal to future acquirers. A great example of this cash conversion cycle method is our own acquisition of an e-commerce brand in early 2022 in the home and fragrance space. We grew the brand 5x over the first 24 months, but more impressive than the revenue and the profit growth is that we managed to unlock a lot of cash by improving our payment terms with the supplier and unlocking non-dilutive debt instruments to fund lots more marketing, as well as trade financing by banks to fund more inventory purchases. That freed up our cash, allowing us to buy more inventory, launch more products, and expand in 4 new geographies. This is no different than what a private equity fund would do after acquiring an e-commerce brand. Now, the next point is leverage effect. In order to achieve better returns on the equity investment, private equity funds use leverage, often up to 80% of the acquisition value, to finance the transaction. That quantum sits on the balance sheet of the acquired company and will be repaid with the company's own cash flow. Leverage has two advantages for private equity funds. On the one hand, it enhances their cash returns since they do not need to use as much of their own cash to finance an acquisition. And on the other hand, it provides an instrument for financial discipline as the business has much more pressure to cut costs and grow at the same time. Needless to say that this is a delicate balance both for the private equity fund and the management team of the portfolio company. Imagine an athlete training with added weights. Initially, the extra load increases pressure, demanding more effort for each movement. However, over time, the resistance builds the athlete's strength and resilience, preparing them for higher performance level. Similarly to the leverage effect in business, it challenges a company by introducing debt, which, while increasing financial pressure, simultaneously cultivates a stronger, more disciplined organization. The resilience is crucial for navigating market dynamics and achieving sustained growth, much like the athlete who emerges stronger and more capable. Now, another point in terms of value creation is enhancing operational efficiency through ESG initiatives, integrating environmental, social, and governance initiatives into business operations is not just about sustainability, but oftentimes also to bolster brand reputation. Today, many private equity firms recognize the value of ESG practices, from energy efficiency and improved supply chain to enhanced workforce engagement and safety. This strategy aligns with the growing consumer and investor demands for responsible business practices, making companies more competitive and attractive. By embedding ESG considerations into the core operations, businesses can drive efficiency, attract more customers, and meet the heightened expectations of modern investors. An example of that is CVC's revitalization of Żabka, Poland's leading convenience chain, showcasing the ESG impact on the performance and return. Strategic initiatives such as updating refrigerants, cutting plastic packaging, boosting plant-based offerings propelled operational efficiency and customer satisfaction. Żabka's shift to 100% recycled plastic bottles and its net zero CO2 goal by 2050 highlighted its sustainability commitment. These changes significantly reduced franchisee churn, spurred a 20% increase in sales over 3 years, and lifted gross margins by 3.9%. And of course, the company was recognized as one of the best green portfolio companies in Central Eastern Europe and probably the wider Europe overall. So before I cover my top pick, please hit that like button. So on position number 8 in terms of value creation, financial stewardship for exits. Preparing a business for sale demands implementing stringent financial discipline, enhancing transparency, and bolstering reporting standards. This strategy focuses on refining the company's financial operations to showcase a clear, accurate financial picture to potential buyers. By ensuring financial records are meticulous and reporting mechanisms are robust, businesses can simplify the due diligence process for buyers, potentially increasing their market value as well. This preparation not only makes the company more appealing to prospective investors, but also underscores a commitment to financial integrity and operational excellence, crucial for negotiating favorable sale conditions and making it a faster process. All of these steps are usually being analyzed and prepared way before the acquisition takes place. All of these 8 value creation strategies are usually part of a commercial, operational, and financial due diligence. This is where one analyzes the market potential for the business and what the base and upside case could look like if one were to implement all of these various growth levers. Equally, it's done for the operational and financial side of things by conducting a due diligence of operations and processes as well as financial health. Now, all of that is part of the input, which then goes into a 100-day value creation plan, which is a detailed step-by-step plan with different value levers to be implemented in the first 100 days after the business is acquired. So one more quick recap of the value creation strategies. Number 1, streamlining and hiring better leadership. Number 2, executing the buy and build strategy. Leveraging digital transformation for competitive advantage. Number 4, product diversification and market expansion. Number 5, optimizing the cash flow conversion cycle. Number 6, the leverage effect. Number 7, enhancing operational efficiencies through ESG initiatives. And finally, financial stewardship for an exit. Feeling more clued up on private equity value creation now? Go to alexejpikovsky.com and leave your email there so I can share my weekly newsletter with you. I drop an episode like this with strategies and concepts for your business once a week. Please hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you get notified every single time I release an episode. I want to help as many founders as possible to scale and exit their business. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I'm Alexej, and I will see you in the next episode.